There we go. Right then, hello everyone. Let's see if it's all working. Should all be working. The thumbnail is on my screen. How's everyone doing today? Because that's what I hit, innit? It's the finale!
Hello.
Everyone, hello, how are you all doing today? Hello, I am Ninan. I'm joined by Hayden.
Hello, it's me from last week.
Hopefully next season as well.
Yeah, we'll have to see about next season, I'm not sure though. I would enjoy it. I'll not doubt that for 1 second though.
Right then, so let's just quickly make sure that your mic's all set up. We don't want any mishaps like we've had before.
Yep, I've got the sharing still on from last time.
Yeah, in case you went half the race yesterday with it off. I told him, have you sorted your mic settings out? They can't hear you, so his response was to turn his volume up.
Yeah, you know, the smart thing to do.
It's not the right thing to do. Good evening, everyone. It's the finale. Division 1 ends today. We've got some exciting stuff planned for Season 2. We've got the Spa round next week for Division 2. That was the postponed round. But Season 2 is looking good if you... Hayden, you know a bit about Season 2, don't you?
Yeah, from what I've heard, it looks like there's going to be a teams championship next year.
Just a bit of spoilers.
Season 1, but we didn't have enough teams to really implement that in the first season. It's quite exciting though. Nice to see how my boys do.
There's going to be a few interesting things. Like you say, there's a teams championship. And then we've got an independence championship as well to go along with the drivers championship. So there's going to be teams and independent drivers by themselves. Some news for you right here. For all of you GTEL fans out there, we should be having Genergy joining us soon as well. Not in the commentary box, on the grid. He's just restarting his Wi-Fi's. He was on about how his game was crashing and how he couldn't load into the lobby, and turns out he's been running on 4G for the past 4 hours and had his Wi-Fi off. We've all been there.
Yeah.
Let me just check who else might be joining us. We've got
I've
Phil.
unwritten made it such that in my livery editor decals which I have in the library page, I have Canada on its own row. If that's not nationalism, I don't know what is. Anyway.
And it would also be helpful if I actually shared the stream out, wouldn't it? Or put it on our socials. It would be helpful, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I imagine it would definitely. It wouldn't do any harm.
It's twice now I've forgotten to do it as I start the stream.
Yeah.
Everyone who's watching right now, quickly do me a favour, share the stream up. Viewership in yesterday was terrible. Today it's not looking good. So come on, let's try and get some numbers out there. Hang on, if I found out something, I might be pissed.
You know, just as as a random idea.
Yep.
Maybe next week we should have like a post-season exhibition-y race for the top half of each championship, and just dump them on like Nordschleife at night or something.
No, we've got a better fuck about race planned.
What would possibly improve on the Nordschleife at night?
There's a few ones we've got planned. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, true.
We've got some ones planned. Okay.
Good. I can't wait to see them.
All of them does involve the Nordschleife.
Ooh. Doesn't involve nighttime at the Nordschleife?
We can make it night.
Sadly, you have to do the 24-hour layout, but hey, or for the nighttime, but
Oh,
still fun.
The 24-hour layout might be too long for one lap.
It's 8 minutes. It's only a minute and a half long.
You don't know what car we're planning.
Oh, Samba Bus, let me guess.
No. No
Oh.
spoilers. No spoilers.
Enjoy.
Anyway, we are just waiting on Ginergy, and we will be ready to go. And Ninan, as usual, has forgot to share everything out on social media, so he's currently sorting stuff out on social media.
All I want to say quickly is I'm quite liking what Lego's done on the back of his car with the complex ring logo. I just noticed that as a random detail.
Lego, oh, my keyboard needs to be plugged in as well. Where the hell's my keyboard gone? I need my keyboard wire.
Now this is totally not a shameless self-promotion plug, but I mean, Phil's arguably got the best livery on the grid for this race.
Is it by any chance one of your liveries?
Shh, don't tell him. But yeah, it is.
Well, we've got some news which we won't be revealing at all to anyone about what team Phil's gone to for next season.
Are we allowed some guesses?
No, he is a reserve. He's not in Div 1. Because of he hasn't scored any points, so he's going to Div 2. He will be missed in Div 1. He's our lovable back marker. Ruben's cutting some grass there. But yeah, Phil's our lovable back marker, but
I think Ruben was just trying to add some more green to his livery, as it was needed.
Scuderia Vedo Velocitia? Vedo Velocitia. I think I've just nailed that.
Yeah, Vedo Velocita,
I don't think they're going to complain about any more green. I have to say, over this season as well, the BNR liveries have improved race by race.
Yeah.
They started off appalling, now they're alright, but would you mind turning your mic volume up as well?
I'll have a look. My level. Okay, it's pounding it now.
I can barely hear you.
Is this any better? Just gonna hold it close to my mouth, I guess.
Yes, ASMR.
Hi guys, today it's GTEL commentary ASMR. Shh, don't need too loud. Don't want to wake up the drivers. What am I doing? Have you ever wondered what immaturity looks like?
Immaturity, look. That's what happens when you get two 15-year-olds commentating.
Pretty much.
I'll point out, JD is older than me and Hayden combined.
Oh yeah. Just some quick pointers for this race, as I'm thinking this might be a good one to do. So I'd say there are three key things. One, owing to GT Sport's hilariously backward fuel consumption, where tracks where you're just sitting at a given rev for ages consumes more fuel, this track's quite fuel critical, as well as the long lap. Sadly means the strategies aren't very dynamic, and we pretty much every corner is some sort of traction event. This track is a rear tyre killer. And of course, you're going to be losing time all the way down the straights if drivers can't keep their rear tyres in check through the stint. Don't be surprised if you see drivers moving their brake balances forward, or even resorting to leaner fuel mixes and traction control in the name of tyre preservation.
I mean, out of corners like out of the Morzine corner at the end of the Morzine straight, out of Arnage. And I think the biggest tyre killer is probably through the S's in Sector 1 and the Porsche curves. Is they're not quite flat, but especially through the Porsche curves of how tight it can be, all the way up to Kart Corner, you do have to wrestle the car a lot through there, and it can be at times quite a struggle.
I always set up my cars with just a teeny bit of understeer for this track. Not enough that it's problematic, but just enough that I know the car will be stable. And then that does wonders for the rears. The third and final pointer is that because of the penalties not being turned off for this round, even if I may have suggested it, is this track is heaven for the penalty system.
As was evident yesterday with Gossard's 20-second penalty. But at a certain point, though,
their work cut out. They will want to avoid getting penalties.
But then the argument would be, because I mean, with Gossard's, yes, the track limits may have been a bit stupid. But the argument is, where people should think, when people say where is the track limit should be, some people think 2 wheels off, but some people keep it on the track. Within the white lines, that's it. That's what some people could argue, that's maybe what the problem with Le Mans is. I mean, the penalties as well. With Gossard's, yes, the penalty, like 20 seconds of penalties, you could go, oh god, that's terrible, that's so much penalty. But then you have to argue, at a certain point, you should be realising where you're getting the penalties from. And if you then, say after 10 minutes after your first couple of penalties, you should then know where the track limits are and where the penalties are. And if you're going to keep going above them, then there's problems.
Yeah, this track is a confusing one though sometimes, because
historical nonetheless.
Some tracks, you can, or some corners even, you can cut the living daylights out of it, whereas others, taking the line they take in real life, will get you so much penalty that you'll be dropped into next year.
I mean, I tested it a bit down at Tret Rouge, which is the corner just after the S, just before you hit the Morzine straight, where I think, let's see, someone is coming through Tret Rouge now. Yes, Tim, you see, he's about to go through Tret Rouge. It's probably my poor French there. Tim's a driver that's currently teamless. If he can find himself a team for next season, that'll be good. We've also got news.
Hey, my team's looking for a reserve.
Well, Tim's very much able to compete in Div 1. So does he really want to be a reserve? But I do know there's a team that's interested in Tim because one of their drivers sadly can't actually do Sundays, which is Div 1, so he'll be stuck in Div 2. I won't be naming them just yet. But it's quite sad that they won't be able to join us. But yeah, we'll be starting...
By the way, well, yesterday's race in Division 2 was quite interesting. Pretty sure OT's out of championship contention now.
No, he's not.
Oh wow! How close is it?
Oh, not very close. It's still in favour. It's still massively in favour of Juice Realm. I mean, if Juice Realm takes pole, it's over. That's it.
Yeah, and Spa. I mean, if people go back to Spa where I raced there, he was like probably a couple of tenths off my pace in practice.
No.
So that's probably already a done deal.
Now with OTBC as well, him beating Juice Realm was significant. Right.
Do you think we should get qualifying underway once Dino's back, by the way?
Yes we are. I've got a message from JD as well that JD's gone for a quick toilet break. So just in typical GTL fashion.
It's been 10 minutes longer than it needed to be.
Quali's 5 minutes longer than it's normal.
Oh what? I thought it was 7 o'clock. Yeah.
No, everyone was asking for 20, but I've said we've agreed at the start of the season it'll be 15. and people were complaining, but yesterday it was actually quite fine. It worked really well, the 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So, Nina knows best, don't argue with me. Devil or Ruben for this race?
I'm gonna say Ruben. The car's just better suited to the track because it's got definitely preferable top end speed.
I mean, looking at the time so far...
I mean, Devil's running... I think Devil's practicing a bit more related to quali. Ruben hasn't even set a lap yet.
It's on my screen, it says Ruben's got the fastest lap with a 3:45.92 flat.
3:45.
No, 3:54, my bad.
3:54. Yeah, so it's pretty tight between the two of them, but in the race, Ruben's car as a package is definitely a stronger race car than Devil's, so I expect to see Ruben winning his, I think at this stage, 5th race in a row.
On my screen, well, this would be quite interesting if it finished live, but I highly doubt it. But apparently Brian's the 3rd fastest so far, which would be interesting because Brian came bitterly close at a podium at Bathurst in his first race, and
until Vanek hit. I'm pretty sure. Literally.
Let's just quickly say ready. I think we're just about ready. We need.
Oh wow! Oh. Definitely quite sketchy there for.
There's quite a few problems
Brian.
through the final chicane for a lot of people. Dano's back. Let's go see. Is JD running? I think everyone's back, and if you're not, let's go make sure everyone's readied up. Yep, we are ready to go.
I'm surprised that no one really has done not many people have done special liveries. The only one I can see is Lego.
Lego has a new livery every sort of week, and down at the end of the S's, Brian's going backwards. Well, after that practice, I mean, qualifying yesterday was really impressive. No one ever expected Vassman to take pole and Juice to be down in 8th, and it's pit lane glitch for KML Brian.
Yay.
Let's go see. It normally fixes itself. Let's see if it's fixed itself for Brian. If it doesn't, oh.
Surprised Lego doesn't use ABS.
Everyone's out fine. Brian and Devil having problems. If they can get the car out straight.
No.
Yep.
I think that we should just restart the session quickly.
Yep. We've not had one of these in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think the last one was actually Spa.
Yes, it was. So hopefully everyone can get a restart going. Devil's backed out. We'll have qualifying started in just a second, but
Just technical difficulties.
welcome to Gran Turismo Sport. I mean, Kongan someone to look out for today, for sure.
Yeah, well, he could definitely pull a surprise result.
He could pull some points because the Ford's been terrible, right? The Ford has been terrible all season, but this car today...
It's a weapon at Le Mans. Because, I mean, it's...
Just wait for JD to be back.
Yeah,
and JD's got game crash. So we'll be a few extra minutes because it wouldn't be a GTEL race if there wasn't technical difficulties.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, with regards to the GT, it's not a brilliant race car, and probably 80%.
Brian and Devil. Brian says changed. Yeah, I'm gonna quickly do that.
Yeah, and it's...
As Brian and Devil are still struggling to actually get out of the pits.
The Ford GT, it drinks fuel, it has an incredibly backwards gearing and shifting logic, and the tyre wear isn't brilliant. But
makes you wonder, why did he pick the car?
It doesn't even corner that well. Like, I tried it at Brands Hatch, and I mean, in the Citroen, which is my go-to car in this category, on default setup I can take nearly 100 miles an hour through Paddock Hill. I'm struggling to keep it in the 90s in the Ford.
the Ford definitely has been problematic, and it's maybe cost Lego Kongan some good results. I mean, he in the Mazda Cup series. We know the Mazda Cup series isn't streamed here. Lego Kongan's actually got a podium in that, and that's a spec series, no salt. When it's just straight car,
he's definitely pretty quick.
You know, getting a podium, he beat out Casey as well. He got second in that race, which was
I'm gonna rejoin the lobby quickly, as it's definitely crashing on my end. I think we should just reset the lobby.
I have to restart the game, says Devil.
Yeah, I'm restarting game as well.
Yep.
Yep, welcome to GTEL, everyone. The most
This isn't even our fault now, it's the game's fault.
Yeah. Well,
sorry everyone for the delayed difficulties, this game really doesn't want to play.
Yeah, this game doesn't really want to function right now, you see, but oh well.
It never wants to, and it's normally on Saturdays it doesn't want to function.
But today, yeah, Sunday's just, yeah.
Now it's Div 1's time to be battered and bruised.
Yep.
And this game... Oh.
Yeah, just let me know when the new lobby's up.
It is being loaded up now.
Okay.
So we will be back. Qualifying will start in a few seconds. Brian says, hope Brian does well. Go on, Brian, we all know it's you on the admin for that account. It's like me pretending I don't admin the GTEL accounts. Okay, well, Brian first in. He is ready. Everyone coming through. And then the ones that aren't on my friends list, well, tough shit. But anyway.
Yeah, I dream of the day where I'm as loved as the Mercedes AMG admin. Or Twitter admin.
Phil's having to back out due to time.
No, if the league was custom set up in the one I'm running now, SSRL, I would almost I would love to just completely for a laugh run the Viper. Because with setup you can make that thing extremely fast. Like, I'm talking 120s at... or 120s at...
I'll point out as well quickly, this is 2 lobbies in a row Kongan's been able to join. Just let that sit with you.
What? 2 lobbies he's been able to join?
We've had 2 lobbies now, because we've had a lobby restart. Kongan's joined both.
Damn.
That's not normal. If you know, then Kongan's internet, not the best. We've got some Ruben fans in the chat. Sadly, the championship's out of his reach, but he's probably favourite to take second.
Yeah. I mean, if he can take 5 wins in a row, that'll be impressive.
JD's back. I think JD's had another game crash.
Arguably, for the league's sake, we have to hope that it can be more balanced next season, so he doesn't pummel everyone into submission.
He wasn't even running a setup until last week.
Yeah, and I mean, look at how dominant he was in that round. There was no point where he didn't have the upper hand.
But then again, with the setups, if you know your way around a setup, it does show more skill to the driver.
Yeah.
And it just means there's a challenge for everyone else to push themselves to be better, because the whole point of a competition is to find whoever's the best, and the best deserves to win.
Yeah, that's admittedly one of the main reasons I'm using default setup is because it removes the advantage people who have more time get. Because if you have more time, you can make your setup better refined, which will give you more lap time.
Alright then, quickly, predictions for qualifying.
Ruben pole, Devil, or Ruben then Devil, then not sure from there. It's looking pretty tight. I would have definitely went
Santos,
to JD, at least if he was close
Santos,
to where I
JD, Dino, Casey, Brian. That third place is anyone's game.
yeah. It's still probably going to be Ruben on pole and then JD, or then Devil.
Casey to ready up, becomes the clumsy guy he is. He joins and forgets to do anything, Casey. We will be joining soon.
Yeah, that sounds like Casey.
Why is Brian running the Finnish flag? Let me quickly go Casey, get off your own account and ready up. I know that's you on your account because it's the breaking point. Don't even... It's bad Brian going on his team and doing it, but when you go on your own one and pretend to be someone else. Yes,
I mean, who are you gonna convince?
It's a complicated story. The Estonian flag doesn't exist in Gran Turismo Sport because apparently Estonia is not a place in GT Sport, so you have to go as Finland. It sucks because my teammate, who's sadly not here today, he's not been here for most of the season.
Again.
There's Kongan as well. Everyone. Oh, this is shambles. What is this game? How are some people able to get out and some people aren't? As Devil's.
Or should we let's see if someone else should host the lobby for now.
I don't think that would fix anything because if we've had two lobby, let's go through. We're still having problems. Congo, this is shameful. Welcome to GT Sport. This is terrible.
And it's gloriously effective servers, which never go wrong.
Almost I have trouble with this car. Who is it? Someone's in the pits not even bothering to go.
Hoover.
I think someone just knows it's gonna go to pot.
Yeah.
For Div 1, it's normally Div 2 that's the shithole, right? But the biggest shithole, I was coming to finale. This you boys better bring us a good race after all of this.
Yeah, it better be worth it. Yeah,
that's Phil gone. The real pit lane simulator. Mercedes at the Sakir Grand Prix ? Casey, stop waffling.
I think it was Nürburgring 2011 where Jerome D'Ambrosio spun it on the way in. He spun it heading into the pits. I mean, come on, that doesn't mean...
Jerome D'Ambrosio was an unfortunate victim of F1. He was a very talented driver who should have been a lot longer. I don't think he could find the funding necessarily.
Yeah. So
his career was cut drastically short. He then went to Formula E and did quite well. Jerome D'Ambrosio was a good driver. It's a very similar topic with Nick De Vries.
Coming on to Formula Rejects, he's now kind of stuck.
Yeah, one thing I found as well, once you're in Formula E, you don't go F1.
Devil's still stuck.
Devil restarted his game as well.
I think we should just... We should probably just start without him, if I'm honest.
What is going on?
I'm pretty sure it's more related to the connection from member to host, rather than from
Brian's
to member.
into the... That's Santos as well doing donuts in the pits. And put it this way, how long's this glitch been in the game?
Since launch.
And they don't... And nothing's really been done, and it makes you wonder. Change the track. Do you think changing the track would work? And then changing it back? Because we change the times, that didn't work. Go away. Welcome to the GT... It's not even GTEL. This is just a shambles event. I mean... Cuba's getting some donut practice in. And here we have Santos. I mean, at least at Spa it corrected itself when it happened. I mean, if all Santos needs to do really is get the car slightly straight. Now let's see, if Devil's able to race, it will be fine, but if Devil's able to get out now, he's restarted his game. KM O'Brien. I mean, if Devil can't race, KM O'Brien is... Restart the timer, everyone waits 30 seconds to get into the track. Just need to see if Devil can do something. Tim is just spectating, enjoying this. We do apologise for this, we should have started 30 minutes ago near enough, and it's not wanting to work. Devil was complaining earlier about
They should have started half an hour.
Devil's out. It works. Is Santos still in the pits?
Yeah, definitely something's wrong though, because the non-chasing cameras is still stuck on the pit lane. So there's something wrong with the lobby. Definitely.
Oh, that's not the lobby. What? Oh, are you stuck in chase cam mode? Oh, like
no.
Are you just there?
I'll tell you.
I know what you mean. Back out to the lobby and join back again.
Yeah, tried it, failed.
I've had it before, just backing out, fix it. I think when we start, it should be fixed. BBR Huber's testing the limits on those rear tyres. What a man. Novel Honk supporting SD and Norway. And as soon as Santos joins, we'll be able to go. Tim has left the room. Why they aren't fixing it? Why aren't we fixing it? Because we can't click our fingers and fix it. If I could access the code and fix it, I would. Because in my media class, I'm learning how to code, and these things are actually caused by something stupid. In the lines of code that they put in, things like this are caused normally by a missing colon or bracket.
Oh yeah, you know what I think? Oh, I think they should remove the automatic pit driving. A lot of other sims have the option to just drive through the pit lane yourself now, so they may as well have that. It would also help to prevent this glitch occurring.
I mean, what if it happened in the esports series?
Whoa, shoot. All I'm saying is I just saw Cuba, you know how he was doing donuts by Tertia Rouge?
Yep.
I think he just reset down at the PlayStation chicane.
Is that what, yeah, that's what I really should have called it, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
It's a chicane I refused to name because of... You see, there's no sponsors here, because if you know what this chicane's actually called, you'll know why I refuse to say it.
Oh, Devil with a nice little... okay, not brilliant attempt at a 360.
Let's get Tim readying up.
Yeah, timing counter isn't working and you have to watch and bump a cocktail chase.
As long as it works for me, though.
True. If it works for you, then that's cool. I think I'll rejoin the lobby quickly.
That's fair enough, and you, mate, you random little bugger that's joined, you can go. Let's get readied up. Fingers crossed. Attempt 3. We apologise everyone for the delays that we've had. Fingers crossed.
Right, on my way again for the third take of qualifying because, well,
one car's out.
GT Sport's been doing a GT Sport.
Devil's connection is appalling.
That's one I haven't had before, the qualifying screen. Oh, No, I think it's just no usual preparing screen. That's just blank.
We're gonna have to continue without Devil. It doesn't really matter if Devil's got the championship. This is punishment.
Laguna Seca.
Oh, and Kongan's got the problem as well.
Well, TV cams work for me now, which is good. Yeah, it does suck that we're gonna have to start without Devil probably.
They should be able to race though, shouldn't they?
Yeah, he just won't be able to qualify. I mean, hey, we'll probably have to work for second place this time. Sorry, I have to say it once. The lag spikes when drivers leave the lobby is really big. I like ACC where you can actually see it.
Anyway, this will actually be quite interesting. Del's got the championship wrapped up. That's the first challenge. What do you say?
Yeah, he'll do good at the last second challenge.
That's one way to put it.
I don't see how Ruben's not going to win this race.
Ruben wins everything. I mean, quali predictions.
Ruben pole and then snapping down to probably about 6. Yeah. Heaven knows.
So Ruben, we think is going to get pole. Predictions for the rest of the grid.
The toss up. Heaven knows. Ruben and KC getting friendly on the track.
Oh, that's going to change a long time before. Casey, did you not realise that he was behind you? Down towards Morzan corner. I think Casey should just give... Casey should give Ruben some space and just tuck in his slipstream and not fight him, because you're not going to be able to keep up with Ruben. I mean, in the slipstream, just take the benefit and gain the extra position, because there's probably a good second you can gain from the slipstream on track.
Yeah, we have got to consider as well, it's probable we'll get drivers who are stuck on track as well. Might be especially preferable. But if it happens, we just gotta live with it.
Brian's getting out of the way down towards Indianapolis as Ruben typically... I mean, we have a lot of time to do something. Does Devil even realise he's got the championship wrapped up? Surely he knows. But anyway, coming towards the coming through the Porsche curves now, as I should say, we've got a train of nice 3 cars, and this could potentially be the top 3 in qualifying.
Yeah, sure.
Casey, he's still chasing his first podium. Brian's chasing his first podium as well. They've both had gutting performances where they should really have got podiums. I mean, Casey last week at Interlagos and at Brands Hatch, Brian at Bathurst. 2 drivers that really should have got podiums, and they are 2 quick guys. Both of them are looking quite quick this weekend. Casey's feeling very confident. I've spoke to him. Brian, we saw in practice, he was actually 3rd fastest, which is effectively best of the rest, which isn't bad. By the way, across the line, first to start the laps then. Ruben, Casey and Brian up towards the Dunlop chicane through the Dunlop curve at turn 1. It's a tricky braking point here, as we see Ruben going quite deep. Casey and Brian taking a nice line. Brian might get himself a penalty from that. Losing the rear end a bit. Now the S's through the Dunlop barrier. I think that is Brian with a penalty. I've just seen... Yes, it is. Half-second slowdown.
Yeah,
Ruben
that can be covered back over the lap.
I mean, like we discussed yesterday, which... Hello, get your forward out of my screen. As we discussed yesterday, or you wouldn't have, but...
I did see it.
With OTBC's penalty, there's so... It's not hard to get rid of the penalties in heavy braking zones. Apparently Devil's backed out. No, Devil is still here.
Yeah, I mean, I tried it at Spa, but on the last lap, for some reason, the last 2 tenths didn't serve. In the way that took like a second or 2 seconds out on a lap before it.
Ruben getting very generous with the track limits. There goes a bit deep into the exit of the PlayStation chicane. And yeah, that's his penalty given to him. Thought it might have been a bit too generous with the track limit. So in this top 3 case, he's done without a penalty so far. And him being in the slipstream, he's going to be eating into this. And I don't think Ruben's going to be too fussed about having a penalty his lap.
There's only one place I know with more annoying track limits, and that's the harbour section at Tokyo South Inner. Like, once you get the hang of it, it's fine, but it's so annoying because you want to cut the life out of it if you can, but you always get half seconds when you do that. And as I was used to it, I remember in a previous league I was getting penalty after penalty in qualifying. Somehow got it on the front row with a half-second penalty, and then dominated the race.
Devil and Lego will have to start from the back of the grid. I mean, Casey, he's getting a lot of benefit from the slipstreamers. Actually, down at Morzan corner, he's
hey, with Lego, he could actually get to quite a good spot. He can work with Devil early on, seeing as Devil could probably help out through the down the long straight. They could work on really catching up, getting some good momentum through the pack.
Brian's penalties also increased, and well, unless Ruben gets rid of his penalty, I mean, Ruben may just get rid of his penalty and let Casey go through. I think Ruben's a sportsman, in my as Casey again outbreaks himself into Indianapolis. Well, able to catch it, but he does lose a bit of time. This hasn't been the cleanest lap from Casey, and I think the slipstream is really, as much as it is hurting him with the dirty air and the extra speed, he is making it back up in the slipstream. And then Ruben's not had the cleanest of laps, especially we saw down in towards turn 2. He went really deep into the Dunlop chicane. He may just let Casey go, come karting up towards the Ford chicane, and it'll be fine with that.
That's going to come out really wrong, but I would love to see
as we say, yeah, that's
Ruben.
Actually quite nice from Ruben. Ruben did just give Casey the toe all the way round, and then as we got to the Porsche curves, he lets him go, gets rid of his penalty, and Bob's your uncle. Ruben's on his way again, so that's quite nice. But Casey, as he comes through kart corner, he will actually be on provisional pole for once. It may not last for long. He has eked out a big gap to Brian, as he's got some of that penalty serve as well. May as well get rid of it now before the lap's cancelled and you still have the penalty on you.
What I will say deep down is that this is going to come out really rude, but I would love to see someone other than Ruben win this race, because
it would be nice.
Ruben's won 4 in a row. It would definitely be cool.
That's not the fastest we've seen by far. Brian's into the pits, as both of them. Dinah's into the pits as well. This is not what we saw from Div 2 at all. Not many of them actually pitted because the tyres lasted so long. Timmy comes through the Ford chicane. Casey will hold his provisional pole. That's not a quick lap at all. It was the fastest than anything we saw from Div 2, but that's not that impressive in the grand scheme of things. No offense to the boys over there. JD, I don't think he's going to best Casey's time. He won't across the line. It's a 58.6. Santos, he goes into second with a 57.9. BBR Huber, he's coming round the final turn. Oh, didn't quite catch that, but BBR Huber coming through the final 2 turns.
Oh, I see what he's trying to do here, I think.
No, he lost it over the...
No, I thought he was going to try and bring it round and go backwards to try and get a run in for his next lap.
No, that might have actually been a smarter idea, but this is now his lap. He will have time for another lap, but his tyres ain't really going to be feeling the best of that. He went round at the final chicane.
He'll get better turning from that rear tyre. Oh well. Yeah, he really overshot or went deep in the first half of that chicane.
Casey, he's now found himself a victim of the penalty system.
Yeah.
Down the second part of the Morzan Straight. He's coming on provisional pole, followed by Santos and JD, and unlikely after the end of halfway through the first set of laps, as some people haven't even set their first laps yet. Tim, it would be wonderful if he could get his second podium of the season, wouldn't it?
There's 2 types of drivers at GT Sport 1 on, those who have penalties and those who are about to get penalties.
That is true.
You don't see races without penalties on this track.
And we also see Congan and Devil chilling in the pits.
Yeah, they vibing.
I mean, Casey's nearly got rid of his penalty as well, and Down and towards Morzan corner, the little kink there before the braking zone. Didn't have the best line through there. Runs very wide on exit. That's probably going to be another penalty. He's 3 seconds off his best time. So maybe the slipstream actually helped him a lot, as he's already 3 seconds down at the end of... And we're not even actually at the end of what would be the second sector. Because Le Mans sectors are weird. They're... I mean, up towards Tretch in real life, because Gran Turismo is weird with its many sectors, but the standard 3, it's at Tretch Rouge, end of Morzan, and from Morzan all the way up to the finish line. Santos, he's gone very deep. That's actually impact. Brian's on an outlap anyway, so it doesn't matter. But Brian, Santos seems giving his boss a bit of a helping, or his former boss, as I should say, helping hand.
Yeah, I want to see how the Wankel Brigade is held up by JD.
The Wankel. Jimmy Broadbent joke.
That's the actual name. Felix Wankel, the inventor of the rotary engine.
Well, the Wankel Brigade is, I thought it was like a Jimmy Broadbent joke because of Hissingvold logos.
No.
I don't even know why. I don't even think Brian has any Hissingvold gear, so... If he does, his parents are loaded.
Yeah.
And if you have that sort of equipment, really should be further up, but Santos, he's currently second. It'll be his second best qualifying of the season, I think. As Santos...
No, this isn't F1. Money doesn't buy you pace.
No, it buys you a good team.
Yeah.
No, money just buys you a spot in F1.
True.
Could name a few.
Stroll, Latifi.
Stroll's now getting his pace back though, and if Latifi's pace is anything reminiscent of what it was in testing, he's gonna have a decent season. As I know testing's not the most ideal thing, but Latifi was solid in testing.
Antonio Giovinazzi.
Santos, that's gonna be a penalty, eating into the forward chicane. Out the final turn, very shaky. Yep, 1.5 second slowdown, wouldn't have improved anyway, and that's Santos' qualifying done. As that poor run out the final chicane, he's lost a lot of time in a way. Came O'Brien, he's gone on to his flying lap, so Casey, he still holds then. As everyone who pitted early on's come through. I mean, Ruben and Brian, they were quite smart. They realised their laps were messed up, and they'll just take the fresh rubber and go again. BBR Huber out the final 2 turns, he had a spin at the last lap. This lap will probably be the most reminiscent we can see. 14 seconds better. He's still in 5th, which is actually what we've got through when it comes to timed laps.
Casey, he's probably really scared now because he's got more penalties on his lap. So he's just stopped really on his lap. Oh, wow, Ruben's already got half second. This is his only shot, so he's got to just accept that he's got the penalty and take it.
Again, more spice. I mean, penalties. If Casey's on pole, that's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, and no one would say it's undeserved.
He's had such a cruel season. I mean, he's had penalties ripped from him. Oh, sorry, he's had podiums ripped from him, genuinely through faults of his own with his mistakes, but he really deserves a podium at this point. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, looking at it, you see you think in the battle for the ART drivers, Dano whoops him, but Casey's not that bad a driver, and it'll be wonderful to see Casey get a podium. Santos, he got a podium last week, didn't? No, he didn't. Santos has one podium to his name at Brands Hatch, which was at his debut, and other than that, he's not been looking the best. So after Brands Hatch, he's had a poor run of luck, got 4th at Brands Hatch, that's so...
Devil left the room.
No more Devil then.
Oh.
What's Kongan's... What is that signal? Oh, no, that's... I know what track that is. Yes, that's one of the old Gran Turismo 4 tracks, is it not? On the back of Kongan's car?
Gran Turismo 3A spec.
Yes.
Curious feature, you couldn't actually drive it in anything other than time trial, although people did find through hack copies that the AI did actually work there. So, yeah, curious.
JD maximising all of the slipstream we could get there, even going offline onto the dirty bit, just to get Casey's slipstream.
Casey's in the pits, vote of confidence from him.
So, provisional pole, man. Casey, the
And
breaking point,
the
Apex
anyway.
Racing Team in the final race of the season for Division 1, chasing his first podium. He's currently on provisional pole. Let's see where everyone else on track. Santos. I think JD's just ahead of Santos is just ahead of JD as Santos is coming through, or coming up towards Arnage now. Dynarod as well, he missed last round at Interlagos. He's currently actually gone purple through Indianapolis, so this could be a surprise poleman. His best result of the season is second. He ran second in the championship for so much of the season, and then last race he drops down to fourth as the battle for second is so close. Ruben, JD and Dino all in it, and it just went away as Dino had work, so he couldn't race. And if he keeps it clean now through the Porsche curves, we could be seeing him challenging for pole. Is he's 2 tenths up?
And I don't think he's had to slip this lap, so that says a lot for the race as well.
And just behind him is actually Ruben, and Ruben, he's also got his penalty he's got to deal with as well.
So he's the second up. He's net 6 tenths up. So
Donald can keep it clean then. Down towards the final chicane. Or final 2 chicanes, it's nice and clean through 4, doesn't want to really take any risks. Okay, well, Brian actually goes in second. That's a brilliant lap from him. Across the line then.
lovely.
Dynarod. He goes third. He's lost so much time through the final sector as the checkered flag's out now. This is who we really need to be looking out for. Across the line's got 4 tenths penalty. Very shaky over the final curb. He loses the rest of his penalty. And he still goes pole. How do you do that, Ruben?
That was nothing short of a flex by him. He fully braked across the line.
How? He gained half he had to have gained the second then, as well, through that final sector alone. Dynarod backed off so much, but came O'Brien in third.
Once Cuba finishes up his lap, then, yeah, I don't even think he's really driving seriously in this.
Get across the line, Ollie.
Yeah. Yeah,
no one expected this then, did we? Ruben, Casey, Brian and Dino, the front 2 rows. Santos separates JD and Dino in the championship hunt, so Ruben's probably going to get second, but the battle for third of the championship now is going to be extremely hot. Brian says he would have actually Brian had a 1 second penalty as well, so he said he would have actually had second if it wasn't for that. Brian is looking quick, but Brian's also someone who's very pushy, and Brian at the front chasing a good result.
Oh, that could be very funky.
He's going to defend for his life, and he has every right to, but that could cause some problems, and he's going to be pushing limits, and that could cause some penalties. And we saw with Casey yesterday. Last week, if Casey spins and he's out of it, Casey's just going to push and get too many penalties. What was it?
Yeah, this may be a race decided on penalty.
Yeah, Brian has a second penalty to get rid of, and Casey... Yeah, he was half second back on Casey, and that's interesting from the Estonian. Donald wasn't actually far off Brian either, and Donald very cautious through the final sector.
To be fair, if he had a surefire good grid spot, he wasn't going to go crazy. Yeah.
So for the quintillionth race in a row, SVV Ruben on pole at Le Mans, followed by the unexpected second place of Casey.
This is only his 4th consecutive pole. No,
right.
Pole, or 4th, yeah, 4th.
Oh, that will be his.
I think I took pole at Spa.
Yes, you did take pole at Spa.
Then I took 2 tenths off that whole time in the race. God,
and you didn't win.
Oh, I just realised I think that's probably the one time this season where the fastest lap in the race was quicker than pole. And even then, like, my fastest lap in the race was slower than my practice time by 600.
Oh, that was my chair going crack.
I know that probably sounds really just braggy, but I didn't mean it.
Let's have a quick look at the sport rankings for everyone. Everyone's in the E's and B's because a lot of them don't do dailies. Ruben SS.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I mean, hey, if we get a more high-end driver, then this could be an awesome season too, though.
Ruben, Casey, Brian, Donald Santos for top 5. The final race of the season for Division 1 is away. Ruben leads then from Casey, and Brian will be looking to gain up as much ground on the slipstream as physically possible. He wants to be right on the back of Casey as early as possible. And I think, is Santos going to be close enough to Donna to really make a move into the Dunlop chicane? No, I don't think so. Congan hasn't been able to take to track, and we are unable to restart or restart the qualifying. That's unfortunate for Lego Congan. But we can't restart. We've restarted so many times, and Donald's already got a half-second penalty. Ruben, if Casey can stick to the back of Ruben, that would be impressive. As Casey's actually, yeah, Casey's already on to the back of Ruben. And if Casey's smart, he won't go for the move early on, and he'll just stick to the back of Ruben. It'll be interesting to see what type of...
It's anymore, sadly. Even, because the drivers who are stuck. Where it is now, sadly.
Let's see, will Casey go for the move on Ruben, or will he just stick in the back and try and bump draft and pull a gap? Because he's already doing that quite nicely, and yeah, he just backs off a bit, and this is quite good from Casey. Let's see. Ruben into the corner, big lift off. So Ruben doing the lift off strategy. So Ruben, it's going to be interesting to see what type of strategy he goes for, as he's quite evidently from the lifts into the PlayStation chicane. He's going to be doing some fuel saves. So it'll be interesting from him to see what he does. As Ruben always has an interesting strategy plan for us. Casey, he's right on the back, and you see there, a little tap on the rear, giving him a bit of a bump, pushing it down straight, trying to bridge a gap to Brian. As Casey, I think Casey is a bit traumatised from last week with Brian, as Brian staying in the section just about. Santos is trying to make a move onto Dino Rod down the inside into the Michelin chicane. Just about gets it done. There's now have a train of about 5, so it's going to be impossible for Ruben to get away from these guys, but a good strategy can do some stuff. And he's Brian always likes watching the races because of his team, but will Brian go for the move? I wouldn't recommend it, but he does with the slipstream, and he's actually is he going to try and go for the lead? And Casey's actually going to try and follow through, I think, there into Morzan corner, and Brian actually leads. So
or BNR and ARC, sure they're different teams, but Brian and Casey are friends, and they would definitely want to work together to try and win this. Or at least give their teams respectively a chance to win. And if they can unsettle Ruben by messing with them in this sense, and that's one of the best ways they can go about it when Ruben has the ultimate pace.
Brian's already got a half-second, Donald's got a half-second penalty at the back, and maybe Casey should try and take the front and slowly and back it up a bit, maybe let his teammate catch up, as Ruben's a bit shaky, as everyone's getting a bit of a penalty there, and so far...
Wow, Ruben in 4.
Yeah, Ruben's actually getting eaten up, and this squabbling is actually allowing Dynarod to, as long as Dynarod can make contact with the slipstream, will be okay, as...
Yeah, probably, yeah, he looks like he is in the gap. He's quite close to Ruben.
What I'm interested in, Ruben, if he wanted to, he could just pass all of these, but will Ruben just sit here? Because we know how good that Lexus is on fuel. Ruben's already seen that everyone's got penalties as well that they've got to get rid of. So Ruben towards the Porsche curves, eyes up a move, not really a place to overtake at the Porsche curves, but if Ruben can maybe get a move, Ruben, if he wants to, could put his foot down and pass everyone.
Am I the only one who's seeing Lego's car going very slowly backwards?
Lego's got a disconnect apparently.
Yeah. This car's just cruising at like 20 kph. Anyway.
Yeah, I think he's glitched out on my screen.
Loose. Very loose there for Brian.
Well, at the end of the first lap then, Brian leads from Casey, Santos and Ruben. That's a spectacle we didn't expect to see. Everyone's got a penalty in this group except for Ruben. And will Ruben actually go for moves, or will he just sit back? Because Brian and Casey, they're bridging a bit of a gap behind and Santos is kind of holding Ruben back. So does Ruben go for the move on Santos and then just try and catch the others ahead and then just stay with them? Because I think Ruben knows he's not going to get past. Ruben's a brilliant driver.
Yeah.
He is, of course, a pro driver. He does actually race in the Gran Turismo Esports Championship, as we see JD doing a JD, and he is off at Tret Rouge. But will Ruben be smart? Will he just sit with the slower guys? I mean, I think he might, but there's already a big gap forming up between Santos and Ruben, and...
I mean, when it comes to strategy, he's going to bring a bazooka to a gunfight. And for now, though, he can sit back, save fuel, and just watch the cars fall into it, or watch everything fall into place.
As we said yesterday, Santos
Santos
cuts the chicane massively, and that's going to be Ruben bridging the gap.
At least a second of penalty for that.
2 seconds.
2 seconds. Yeah, I thought it was going to be 2 seconds.
Unsurprising. Brian's also at 2 seconds worth of penalties here as well. And Ruben's actually quite far off. Dino, he's in the slipstream range, so as long as he can keep slipstream touch, that's going to be okay. I mean, we've seen the Lexus is so good on fuel the Lexus is amazing on fuel, then Ruben's even better on fuel, and we said it yesterday, this track is chess on wheels. And if these guys are playing chess, Ruben's playing 4-dimensional Star Trek chess. Not 3-dimensional chess, 4-dimensional. There's a little scratch and sniff on the pawns that you have to do as well. That's what makes it 4D. But anyway.
Sorry, that was a good one.
Yeah, there's a scratch and sniff on the bottom of them. On the bottom of them, it's a random smell. Oh, around the outside. Ruben tries to go. Ruben's actually got a penalty as well. Just noticed that. And Brian, he's pulled out a gap as well. This is actually quite good. Brian's pulled a gap out to Casey. But Brian's leading with a near enough 2 second gap, and it is increasing, but he will have to go and sort that slipstream out. Now, there's an interesting decision to be made from Ruben. Ruben probably deserves space to go and catch him, but he's saving the fuel, and I think he's eating up a lot of fuel this lap now at Santos. His fuel's a lot better, and I think he's choosing just to stick behind these lot, and he will just, all the time that Brian gains at the front, Ruben will just get it back in fuel in the pits that the time will save, and he probably will jump a lot of them.
Ruben
when it comes to fuel,
at least 10% more fuel than the others in this leading pack.
Maybe Brian's actually going flat out, putting his foot down, bridging enough of a gap where he can serve that penalty down towards, say, Arnage or Indianapolis. Those two are actually really good corners when it comes to getting rid of penalties. And is this going to be back-to-back? I know it's early days. I know we're only 7 minutes and 23 seconds into the race. But as it stands, BNR are looking at back-to-back race wins. Said no one ever, but it could happen. Brian's looking good, and if Brian can just keep out of the wall, which the only thing that actually stopped him from getting a podium at least at Bathurst was the walls. It's the Australian Monaco, and there's another penalty up towards 3 seconds that goes, and he really doesn't have to start thinking about getting rid of some of that, at least taking the pressure off. Because the more you get the penalty, the more you want to push, but the more you push, the more penalties you get. So he's going to have to be managing with that. Ruben's also got past Santos, and Dynarod, he's just about keeping in touch at the back of this group here. Tim and Huber lead the chase group, and JD straggling off the back. This is not looking good for the German as he's chasing third in the championship.
They're just a long train, basically. Sort of.
Oh, that's a mistake from Santos as Dynarod eventually gets through at the Dunlop chicane. Now Ruben's making an effort to bridge up towards Casey, as Dynarod and Santos are barely hanging on by a thread. Casey's going to try and bridge the gap. Oh, no, Ruben's going to try and bridge the gap to Casey, and then Ruben may go ahead, and he's seeing how far ahead that Brian is already, and may actively try and go and close that gap down. Ruben going for a one-stop, I highly doubt it on fuel. Oh, no, I don't think he will. Brian, again, he's now reached that gap where he can get rid of all of his penalty. And he's also got a bit of a gap where, if I was him, I would lay off the throttle, not necessarily lay off the throttle, but get rid of the penalty bit by bit into the braking zones, and just be a bit more cautious in when it comes to the track limits, because you could lose a tenth through the corner.
Drafting with KC a little bit.
Smart idea by Ruben, but if Brian breaks, say, 20 metres earlier than he normally does, A, he's getting a bit by bit more of that penalty off. Say if he lifts off as well, B, he's more cautious with the track limits. He can actually, whilst everyone else is pushing behind to catch him, they're risking more track limit penalties as they're being more aggressive. So if Brian's more cautious, and say you can lose a 1/10 and a half, but that's better than getting half-second slowdown. As Brian's well ahead, and then we've got this train that's led by Casey. Ruben and Casey working together quite nicely to give a bit of a bump draft. Penalty. Oh, that's a bit of a tap into the rear by Santos as Dano just about saves it going into Morzan corner.
Yeah, it's definitely fair to say that this track, definitely if it's run in the future, probably look at removing the shortcut penalties so it becomes more of a race, not a chess match.
But it's an interesting change to the season. It is going to be a good season finale, and you don't know what the calendar is. But despite the spin early on, JD, if he can just about gain half a 10 or half a second, he can get himself back in touch. And this is because that then also means JD has a chance to actually win. 4 seconds now is the gap for Brian as he tails it through Arnage.
Yeah, that sounds like the Brian line is massively sideways. It does like a sideways car after all.
But Casey and Ruben's efforts to try and bridge the gap down to Brian not working as much, and maybe Casey just wants... Maybe Casey's purposely just slowing Ruben down. Maybe Casey wants a new winner. Maybe Casey's trying to back Ruben into... I mean, Casey and Don are probably in the talking together at a party as Santos actually just go for a move round down the inside of the Porsche curves. That's a brilliant move by the Portuguese driver as he gets a bit more of his penalty off as they head towards kart. But as I was saying, Casey and Don are probably communicating, and Casey probably knows the situation of the championship. Casey's probably thinking, I'll let Brian go and win this, I don't care. But he's going to try and back Ruben up so Dino can at least catch up, because Dino needs the points for the championship, as Ruben and JD are his rivals. JD's down in 8th, getting 1 point.
Santos going wide. Santos having a lot of fun with the gravel as he got out of that corner. And begin the 4th lap.
I see Brian, avoiding the second apex of the Dunlop chicane there massively, and maybe Casey is actually parking the bus a bit here, but no, he's actually lost half a second, so Brian was being a bit cautious through there, so maybe he's listening to my advice.
Brian, just saying it, he's definitely now running more cautiously since his 357.3, but also should be noted, Huber's now set the fastest lap.
I was just about to go on to that, that's
good pace from him.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he's still in the 57th, so he can run consistently without much penalty trouble at the tip.
Brian in the first sector's also lost a second, so he should now start using the benefit he's got and get some of that, at least half second off his penalty. I think I've just seen someone with an 8 second worth of penalty. Yeah, BBR Huber, 8 seconds worth of penalties as he actually goes past Dino Rod as well, so Dino Rod's had a mistake and Huber's up to 5th. Tim's also down into 8th as he's had some problems, but Tim's also the only person on track without a penalty. So, probably got 2 more laps until the pits.
Another 400ths or so up on his lap. He's really got some good pace here.
I mean, he'll take all the penalty, but Dano's now going to try and get through again as well. But if Huber,
how much penalty Huber has.
Yes, 8.1 seconds. Maybe he knows how bad that penalty he's got is, and if he can just try and get an extra point for fastest lap, maybe he'll take it. As we see further back, Tim going very wide, not very wide, but going a bit deep, and him and JD having a bit of tussle down at the Michelin chicane, and the gap's now extending up a bit more. And Casey, he's just leading this trainers. I think he's probably parking the bus a bit as Santos now tries to take the lead. Santos actually pulls out the slipstream, loses a bit, gets rid of the rest of his penalties, so does Ruben, and I think Dano's actually trying to get through on... Dino and Huber have now made full contact, and I think Casey's probably just trying to back these lot up into Dino or help him out a bit, which, fair enough, good idea. I like that. It's a smart plan. Huber's also now in contact, and looking at it, any of these so far in a shout of a podium. Brian, 5 seconds
Yeah.
up the road now. He's enjoying this.
He hasn't put more on his penalty, so props to him.
It'll be interesting to see.
Oh,
Going through Indianapolis, he's quite cautious. Let's see through Arnage. I think he's actually being a bit more cautious on track limits. Yeah, he's being a lot more cautious on track limits, and whilst he's squabbling, everyone else is actually getting penalties. And oh, Santos off at Arnage. He just about. Oh no, I was about to say he just about rejoined to go to hits the barrier again, and JD's back through. And Tim's now got to take evasive actions to try and get past the slow Portuguese driver. I was just Ruben.
Santos got absolutely beamed as he tried to rejoin the track.
Ruben, with his massive amounts of additional fuel, he now takes the lead of this group. So he's got some extra fuel and now he's going to try and actively try and close the gap down to Brian. So far as Brian, get rid of that penalty now.
It's taken a little bit off, it would appear.
But how much is enough? Ruben actually goes quite wide. If Ruben can get himself enough penalty there, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
And he does! Hey. But Casey really does need to now try and stick to, throughout this final sector, or throughout the first sector now, Casey needs to stick to Ruben like glue. And if he can, that's going to be amazing, because as long as he can stay in slipstream range down for Morzan, what these guys really need to do is try and get ahead of, as soon as you place yourself ahead of Ruben, just slow him down, you can all work together the rest of you to try and beat it, but Ruben's already pulling ahead, and he's already taken 2 seconds out of Brian. And Brian now knows he's coming. As they're approaching the pit window at the end of this lap, I'm going to guess, and, well, Ruben's just going to fly ahead in the pits.
Yeah. I mean, look at how much more fuel he has.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to say, but that's also genius from him, because... But now, he's going to have to take more fuel. Everyone's going to probably have to take full tanks. He's now probably going to be aware he's going to come out at a long way ahead.
Long way ahead.
So he's not going to have the shield of the slower cars behind, and he's eating into that gap of KM O'Brien.
Yeah,
And maybe Brian just had that gap and he was happy knowing the penalty would go away and it wouldn't matter, but there's a Panamanian, Panoramian?
Yeah, Panamanian.
Panamanian, the Panamanian driver.
Yeah, we're just sticking to the driver from Panama.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yes, the driver from Panama. It's a very pretty flag that Panama have. Yep, up to top, second through via PlayStation chicane, Dynarod. He's sticking right to the Dynarod and Casey Dave now swapped places, and they're going to try and work together to close this gap in the slipstream.
Casey and Dynarod are so close. If you switch between them quickly on the camera, it looks like the cars are swapping position and it's really like a lag.
JD, he's also got himself back up into 5th now, as Huber, he's actually been the first to pit. Now Huber pitting, yes he can get the undercut, but pitting early, he's not in this group of slipstream. It's like in NASCAR,
Brian's in the rear.
I just made the NASCAR reference yesterday as well. In NASCAR, if you pit before everyone else, if you pit when everyone else doesn't pit, you're going to be in massive trouble because you're not going to have the slipstream, you're not going to have the push. Devil is not racing, he had technical difficulties. But Huber could actually find himself without the slipstream, without the bump, without anyone else to really help him. The undercut, we saw how powerful the undercut actually was yesterday, but that was also with people around you undercutting. As I think it was Gossau and Knockham Bots were working well together. The gap, 3 seconds. Brian has actually held off Ruben a bit here through the middle sector. I know it's only down to Morzan Straight, but he's gained some time. And now through the, getting into the more technical sections of the track again. That gap's probably going to eat away. Box this lap is the call at BNR. I think it's the call from everyone. ART, Deshadaim, and then the Independents at the back.
Yeah, Deshadaim, he should really, or JD, he should look again.
Hayden, can you quickly check your mic settings? Because apparently they can't hear you.
this better?
Apparently, just check to see if you've actually got the settings on, because apparently they can't. Vasmussen's gone early, but into the pits goes Brian then. Ruben stays out, interestingly. So Ruben's actually going to get undercut here a bit as the ART boys into the back, and that's a bit of a tap on the rear for Brian as
everyone except Ruben is into the pits.
Bit of a pit lane catastrophe. Santos loses more time as he gets a bit of a spin on, just about saves it into the thing. Huber, he's now got 7 seconds worth of penalties.
Now, Huber may have actually pulled off a pretty nice move here because of the fact he pitted a lap earlier than the others.
You're ear raping right now.
He might be able to jump a few people.
You want to move your mic a bit away from your mouth.
Okay. Also speaking up a bit so that I can make sure I was heard over the others in the room I'm in.
Yeah. I can barely hear the people in your room. But Ruben's not going to have a flying out lap here. Brian's actually got the worst fuel on anyone because he had his foot down, so a lot of people are actually going to be gaining time on the Estonian. And maybe Brian's lead's been cut down. It's very much like a cycling race, this. So, Brian is the first out. Dynarod. Huber's catching up, and where will Huber come out?
He's going to pass JD here. Oh, nice.
Oh, he's back to where he was. He's going to have a crack at Santos down the inside of the
nice.
Dunlop chicane. He's got the warm tyres, and he's actually...
a beautiful strategy move there from Huber to get himself back up into a good spot. And then we've got Ruben just chilling 45 seconds in the
Brian's
lead.
got a 2-second comfort gap, and he has to be aware that he's got more penalty than Dynarod. So I may have the pace and...
a second though. So, yeah. I mean, Ruben's going to pin and come out in the lead.
Yeah. Brian... It'd be interesting though, because Ruben's now got... If Ruben is putting his foot down, he will be losing a lot more time. He may not gain as much time as we actually initially expected, especially if Brian actually has a good outlap with this undercut strategy. Which so far is bridging a gap to Dynarod, so it is showing, and now... I think if it finishes this way, Casey actually gets more penalty, but... Put it this way, Dynarod and Casey, very good friends. Their teammates, good friends. Do you think Dynarod will let Casey through just to get the podium?
Depends. I mean, they're pretty level on penalties, so I guess we'll see.
Santos is right onto the back of Casey as well. I mean, Dino does need the points in the championship though, and I don't think Casey would actually take a podium like that. Casey's a very hands-on man. It won't feel like a podium to him if it's basically Austria 2003, was it, where Michael Schumacher were on the final straight at the final turn, 2002, sorry, where Barrichello was told to let Schumacher through and on the podium. Schumacher gave him the winner's trophy, and big problems.
Although it wasn't good anyway, you know what really annoyed people about it? It was for the championship. Schumacher was dominating the championship,
and it was only like 6 rounds in. It was pointless. It wasn't down to the wire yet.
It wasn't for the championship. It was so Schumacher could probably try and break the win record or something.
Yeah. Which he did anyway and smashed it, and now Hamilton's beaten it by equally, Actually, that's a thought. Do you think that Mercedes got a person like Bottas, knowing he wouldn't be as good as Hamilton, so Hamilton could chase the win record? Because they know how good... Because with Rosberg contested him.
Yeah. I mean, Hamilton wound up being their safe lead driver as Huber goes over 10 seconds of penalty.
As Ruben doesn't pit again. Is Ruben staying out front? Is Ruben trying to one-stop?
Probably.
As Brian's actually taken time out of him as well. Brian's taking time out of him. Is Dynarod taking time out of him? Because if Dynarod's taking time out of him, I wouldn't really want to be caught behind Dynarod. It's interesting. As we see Brian coming through car down towards the Ford chicane. Past the exit. Ruben's last lap was a 4:01. Brian's not actually dipped under the 4-minute, not gone over the 4-minute mark. So Ruben had a poor lap last lap where as Ruben had a mistake somewhere down the lap, because a 4:01 is very uncharacteristic.
It's being extremely conservative, or something or another, because yeah, Ruben wouldn't do a 4:01.
I mean, Brian's not actually done a sub 4:01.
Brian runs out of fuel here, or Ruben even.
Ruben is actually going to have to go very slow.
Yeah.
So he's now got the red light halfway through the lap.
Yeah, he's probably squandered his own victory unless he can do another of all fuel-saving laps.
Well, Ruben, we know what he's like. Ruben probably can. This could just be another one of Ruben's strategies.
Scarily enough, he's holding the gap.
Yeah, it's actually extended, so I think Brian may have had a mistake, because Brian's also got more time with his penalty. I think Brian's also been conservative with the track limits. But...
Oh wow, Casey's got a bit more penalty. Yeah, Dino served some of his, and pretty sure Santos has just about he's been the whole race with us.
Well, Ruben...
Something happened to Hoover. He's run a 4:08. And he was in last fail.
Yeah, he just saw in the chat, he apologised to JD, so I think he might have had a mistake there.
Yeah, had an altercation.
So a second gained by Brian, as Ruben is now definitely fuel saving. He's probably just trying to go for an extra...
Why didn't he pit last lap?
Who?
That's what I want to know. Ruben. Like, why didn't he pit if he was safe on fuel?
One of Ruben's weird strategies.
Is he trying to do that thing that it was in like group 4 cars at Interlagos once, where it was a 15-lap race and you start on 10 laps of fuel, but it was somehow faster to fuel save the 5 laps back? He's trying to do that.
It's a big pit lane, so maybe no. I mean, Brian's gained another second, and now it's coming to the technical bits towards the Porsche curves. I think Ruben will be safe of running out of fuel, and if he does run out of fuel...
He's near the pits.
Yeah, and he'll only lose about 5 seconds. Yeah, no, he's not going to run out of fuel, but he's definitely going to be highly impeded by the amount of fuel savings that to do, and it'll be interesting to see if it's like this at the end of the race. Whilst everyone else is being more aggressive and pushing, he may actually lose out on a few positions if he is forced to fuel save massively come the end of it and everyone else is going flat. So, to the peels to the right, into the pits, 40 seconds is the gap then, 4K about Brian, and if Ruben is going for the one stop, he's going to have to refuel fully, so I think Brian may actually come out ahead.
Yeah.
May even behind Dino Rod. Are we going to see an Interlagos? And he's going to come out behind JD again.
We should even consider KC here. I think is the most likely Santos in that situation.
Well, through car...
Santos is...
Well, Dino and Brian have just came through kart corner. Ruben tyres have only just gone on. And in goes the fuel tank. Brian, he's come through the final chicane.
This really makes Japanese jazz music hit a lot more very different.
Brian's passed. A lot of people have passed, and there goes up the lollipop, and is that Dino Rod is through, and now Casey, where's Casey? Casey and Santos, they're not going to be close enough, but now...
And he's not going to be able to catch the two in front, pushing. Like, he's going to be very conservative. He's got to be conservative, and if he pushes, well, that could he's got to find 7 seconds. But if he does push, that could be risky at the end of it, as he's got over 30 minutes to go. Santos is off at just before Tres Rouge, and there goes Casey. In the sense of the fact that you're not actually...
or that the others have to pit again. He is still in a decent position, but God, this is a weird one.
Well, as we approach the halfway mark, we may as well go over the halftime show, we'll call it. Sponsored by... what we sponsored by? Brian, very shaky. He might get him some more penalties through the... oh, God. He's not going to be enjoying that line through the PlayStation chicane. But anyway, the GTEL halftime show, sponsored by Hayden Clampett Racing. After a electric and what I could have assumed was a bit impatient first lap, Brian took the initiative. We saw Casey lead out for the first lap, and then on the second lap down to Morzan, a bit of a mistake by Santos and Casey. Brian, well, we thought it'd be Brian and be a bit impatient, and Brian took the lead. I thought Brian, when he went for the move, was actually Brian being Brian, was just being impatient. He wanted to lead, which I thought would be a stupid move, because that's kind of what OTBC was trying to do yesterday, and look how that ended up with him. But no, it was actually quite smart from Brian, as he then just put the foot down and he bridged a 5-second lead. Ruben, he sat happily in fourth after his mistake. He didn't really want to lead at the front, and that was genius. He just sat at the back and fuel saved, and he gained some time, but not much.
I doubt he can make the one stop, honestly, in Ruben. I think he had a lot of slipstream. He was in slip lanes pretty much 2/3 of his opening stint.
And he's got a 1.5 second penalty, and he's 3.5 seconds off the back of Dynarod, and Casey's catching him.
Get much slip. So I don't think he's really. I see why he's tried to one-stop it, but I don't know if he's really thought it through too much.
Well, maybe knows it's the final race of the season. He just wants to try something. More penalty for KML Brian. He has the time, he has the gap. He probably could work a good chunk of time off that, but so far not being the most cautious. Dynarod in the background of Apex Racing Team, and so far BNR as BBR Huber, he's had to leave, and this is the smallest the grid's ever been down at 8 as BBR Huber. Here's a brake failure, he says, and he's out. So that's unfortunate. His brake pedal, really not like him. It's very much like Max Verstappen at the 24 Hours of Spa endurance race in 2019, I think it was. Yeah, 24 Hours of Spa in the F1 Summer Break in 2019. Him and Lando Norris were doing it with Team Redline, and going down towards Rivage, his brake pedal broke, and that kind of ruined their win. With 10 minutes to go, nonetheless.
But they still won it. Like, they were so far ahead, they kept the car towed back to the pits, and they still were able to stay in the lead.
Ah, fair enough.
And yeah, Norris took over for the last stint.
That's fair.
That shows just how dominant they were, I guess.
Well, they are very good.
Tim got ahead of Santos.
Tim is on a mission here, and Tim's not got any penalty, oh, no, Tim hasn't.
Yeah,
and Casey's fallen right back down, and if Casey finishes how he is now, he's going to be gutted with this. But anyway, Kame O'Brien, he leads on these. As we're 35 seconds into lap 9 of this race, with just under 27 minutes to go. Kame O'Brien, an unexpected leader, an unexpected second of Dynarod, and an unexpected third of SVV Ruben. If it finishes like this, you really could not predict this. And also, what started off as 12 drivers has now got down to 7. This race has been one full of technical difficulties.
Yeah.
But anyway, Kame O'Brien has actually lost a lot of time. He's got some time for his penalty, but he's then lost a good few tenths. And he's gained it all back through the first chicane.
The irony. Yeah, his race pace has generally been pretty consistent looking at it.
Yeah, he's not. The only time he's actually gone above 4 minutes was the first lap in his pit lap.
Yeah.
The BNR guys, after a string of poor luck from them, Le Mans holding their holding the crown for them, and Brian seems to have learned the track limits a bit more as he's evolving, he's adapting a lot. where everyone else is actually getting penalties quite consistently. Brian's actually going a good couple of laps before he gets another penalty. Because this 3 seconds has basically evolved from the first lap, the first 2 laps. And he's only got 2 penalties since then, which seems like a lot, but the way this has gone, everyone's had a penalty, 2 penalties a lap. Ruben's had 2 penalties, and he's never had a penalty, so puts things into context. Actually, no, he had a penalty at Spa. But anyway, came O'Brien down towards Indianapolis. It's not often you get to say a Mercedes is leading at Le Mans. More familiar sight of a Porsche.
Le Mans and, I mean, you get that pretty much all the time.
This race is probably going to be more exciting than the actual GT class at Le Mans this year, with only 4 entries.
Oh wow, more penalty. More penalty for Brian.
So only a good half second. You also have to, I really should start working to get more of it off. I mean, he has the gap. Maybe he's worried. Because he does have the pace, but he probably could at least get a second off into the pits though. If I was him, I'd do that. He's also got more fuel than Dynarod, so he'd have that cover.
He'll probably be pitting next lap, so...
He'd have that gap.
What's that?
He should have enough fuel as he comes through the Porsche curves to get him round at least, or guaranteed for another lap. This bit of a train then, the chase group led by terrible Tim. Not so terrible Tim though today. He's up in 4th and some good points gained for him. As he goes personal best sector through the Porsche curves, just got a car to go, bit deep for Casey there. As Casey gets more of his penalty gone. And Casey just seems to go backwards in the races more than he goes forwards, which is not ideal at all, as everyone continues on. 5 seconds is the gap then. In this lap, I believe for KM O'Brien, Dynarod, and then Ruben is the top 3. It'll be an interesting podium if it finishes like this, I must say. What are your thoughts on the race so far?
Interesting, but, I mean... interesting but not exciting, if you see the difference.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. It's very much, it's like when you are watching road cycling and it is long distance, it's a waiting man's game, and road cycling, it is genius. I mean,
questionably advantage Ruben.
Is it advantage Ruben? Does anyone actually have an advantage?
Brian even. Questionably his advantage.
I wouldn't say anyone's got I can't say who's got the advantage in my opinion. Because we have got Ruben going for the 1 stop it seems, unless he decides to change up. Brian, bit edgy with the track limits there, going into the entry of the PlayStation chicane. Maybe he's putting his foot down a bit. Maybe he's just trying to get the gap a bit bridged just before his in-lap. And Ruben, he's now bridged the gap to Dynarod, so he's now in his slipstream, so that's good for the Panamani Bani Bun, right? The driver from Panama. But he's going to be enjoying just sitting at the back here.
Too, hasn't he, Ruben?
Sorry?
Looks like he set his gears up for way over, like, 300 Ks as well.
Ruben pulls out of the toe. Is he going to try and go for a move in the inside of the little kick down towards Morzan turn?
I mean, if he's on course for a 1 stop, you should stay in dyno slip.
Yeah, now Dino can actually get some benefit from here. Now, Ruben, if he's going for the 1 stop, you don't... This could also then... If Ruben is still fuel saving, he's now going to be holding up Dino. Maybe Ruben's trying to take one opponent out of the equation and just slow down Dynarod.
Maybe, yeah.
But everyone in this lap then except for Ruben...
unintentionally take himself out of the equation too.
He could. What a surprise winner this... We've only actually had 2 race winners this season. And when we've had Devil and we've had Devil and we've had Ruben in terms of race winners this season. We've had two. It's been a very dominant season.
Yeah,
and we've had a few people we thought could win races. There's only been 3 other drivers which have had any sort of real chance at winning a race. There's been JD at Suzuka, and last week if he could actually have his head down last week, maybe he had a chance. At Brands Hatch, he had a chance as well. Santos at Brands Hatch put himself on pole.
True.
So he's someone that could have challenged. You at Spa was someone that could have challenged, but no one else.
And then,
I mean, Dynarod was in the early bits of the season. Dynarod was consistently second, as then Ruben's into the pits with everyone else. So,
wow,
I know what he's planning here.
I'll do a splash and dash.
He is going to.
Oh my god, Ruben, you absolute.
Eugene!
How do you get your head through the door with a brain that big? That is a glorious strategy.
Oh my god, I am sweating. KM O'Brien is going to be kicking himself because Ruben's just. How do you let Ruben outplay you like that?
I mean, he's literally just played the entire field like an
fiddle.
Now he can take, like, just quick dash of fuel and then boom.
He can take all of the fuel, but it'll be safe to the end. Dino's first out. Dino took no fuel.
Dino? I think he forgot. He's in the
Dino might have been pressing his buttons a bit too hard, and now Dino's under a Dino's in real trouble here. Came on Brian no longer in the lead anymore as Ruben's jumped him, and here's where we see Brian's race go downhill. I'm predicting. It's now we're going to see Dino. Dino's going to pit again, and we know what Brian's like. Brian's going to really try. Brian's going to have that mentality. I've led this whole race. I can close that gap. I don't think he's quite realised that Ruben's outpaid him, and
he's got to drive the whole lap in 6th gear, his Dino, if he wants to get round without completely draining his tank.
Well, Casey's podium, maybe Tim podium. Tim's in 4th, Casey's behind him, so Tim and Casey are not out of the equation from a podium, and neither is JD.
Or Santos. There's about 2 seconds from 4th down to 7th.
This fucking game popped me out. We love this. What a way to end the season. We may as well having Tim drunk commentating this. But that gap increases. I think Brian should now just... Brian, if he's smart, he will just focus on 2nd now.
Dino, who's got what's known in the industry as KT's luck this race.
Now,
also,
if
Santos put a cracker on JD. One day I'll get there. And yeah, the track failed. And then now 2.5 seconds off KC. The sticker bomb and the blue beamer, they really need to work on getting up.
Does Brian put his foot down and actually feel like if Brian could actually catch Ruben here, I will run down the street naked tonight.
And film it.
And film it? Well, that's child pornography. He's actually doing it all through Morzan corner, his favourite corner to drag. Oh, it is maybe where the problems have actually came. Look ahead. Look who's ahead of Ruben.
Oh. Come on, Dino, be the mother of all buses through this section, please.
No. Dino, just take him out.
Oh, what's
Ruben's getting rid of the rest of his penalty. I've got to run down the street naked tonight.
Oh my god, and he's going to run out of fuel any second now as Dino.
Here goes Dynarod, and that is the fuel gone. And he's got to go all the way down towards the Porsche.
Yeah. No, now. It's gone.
And it's out. It's broken. It's broken.
No, it's stuck at 50 miles an hour. Because of GT Sport.
But Brian is now actually Brian is catching Ruben, but he's also got 3 seconds to get rid of, which is possible. Is anyone actually taking notes from Nin and Sky to get rid of a fucking penalty?
Clearly not.
Because I've said every race, every time someone's got a penalty, you do it here, you get this benefit. You get a benefit from doing this. Just I've told everyone every race, watch the fucking races.
Ruben, and then if you can catch Ruben, then he can use a slip and just brake early. Kind of stuff.
Exactly, that's what he can do. But then it's into the technical bits where Ruben will fly ahead.
So like into the 2 chicanes and Mulsanne corner, you can brake a bit early, get a good exit, and he'll be back in slip.
But will Brian think like that though?
I doubt it. I'm honest.
As Dynarod, he just falls right down the order. You just have to feel from ART when one driver's having good luck.
Stage. He's 7th, 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 or maybe 7th.
7th, 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 or maybe 7th.
Well, I mean, he's already 30 seconds now.
Well, it's third in the championship for JD then.
Yeah, pretty much. And second for Ruben, it would appear.
Well, we kind of saw that coming. Ruben's now put his foot down, purple first sector for him.
Best in.
Brian's got a 10th off of his penalty, but 10ths are never enough.
We've got 31 of them to get rid of.
Further back to battle for third, Casey and Tim. One of these drivers is going to be walking away very happy, and it's looking like Tim with Casey's penalty. Well, no, Tim likes a good old beer. In 13 minutes and 30 seconds, he may be cracking a fresh one open. Dynarod's finally reached the pit lane. You just have to feel for him.
Yeah, we got there in the end. He's a minute
Someone
down
in the pits at ART is going to be fired for not refueling that. You know what? I've just realised this is rigged.
They're not. We got it wrong. They're not going to be fired. They're going to be hung, drawn, and quartered, and then each part individually fired into space and then back.
Yeah, sounds about right. Don was Irish.
Excessive and brutal punishment going. And only then will their dying corpse be told that they're fired.
Santos is in pain. What's happened with him?
Probably just made a major hack somewhere.
Maybe though, it is a fun thing that I might. Maybe the ART pit guys have done a Mercedes. They purposely sabotage the pit stop so Russell can't win and look and just. Because if Russell won at Sakir, it would have proven Hamilton's whole career basically a fluke. So if someone who has never scored an F1 point before that race can then hop into the car and win in his first ever race without any practice in it before, or very minimal practice and win, fluke.
I wouldn't say it would kind of disprove the rest of Hamilton's career, but it would put into perspective his season. Because
crap.
Well, and we also say more about Bottas in my opinion.
Yeah. And then that kind of brings us on to what we was on about earlier with, did Mercedes actually go and hire Bottas just so Hamilton would win more?
Solid wingman. They need someone.
I mean, if you watch Drive to Survive,
you won't unsettle them.
Toto Wolff was asked, "Is Bottas Hamilton's bitch?" Basically, and went, "Fuck you," because like, is Bottas actually just the second driver? And went, "Fuck you," because you know.
I mean, also in season 3, we did see a lot of Bottas. Hopefully. Anyway.
Casey's falling right off the back here. Maybe the ART boys were trying to make sure that Casey was guaranteed the podium, but no, Tim, he was nowhere near it at the start of this race, and now he's actually...
He's at risk of losing in 4th even to JD. I wonder what's happened to him.
JD is a man on a mission, he wants some more points, and well, it's what commentary it's not for Honk. Have you never watched a commentary race? We are just talking like they would normally at Le Mans. Le Mans so long, they just waffle. And this is good commentary. They will discuss other things.
last lap, definitely the gap was...
It's halved itself. I was just trying to get onto it.
Ryan's closing in. I think Ryan's closing into Ruben here. I think.
Ruben's probably just saving some fuel. Ruben probably also knows that Brian has that penalty. Who knows?
Yeah. That's a fair point.
As the gap extends slightly through the technical bits, maybe down the straight as well, but Mercedes is just better.
Oh, my cat's just seen a fly and this is going to get very entertaining.
10 minutes to go then. We have an idea who's going to win, but it's not certain. Anything can happen in this 10 minutes. Ruben leads then from Kane O'Brien, an unlikely podium it would seem if he wins it, or if he gets the podium. An even more unlikely win. And Tim in third as well, that's impressive. Casey's back in. Casey's back into the slipstreamers. JD's also trying to hunt them down. Santos, he's just vibing in sixth after threatening the early podium spots. And down in last is Dynarod after the Apex Racing Team boys decided to piss in his fuel tank. Could just imagine what the pit crew's whipping out, just going for a piss and going, fuel's in!
No. Oh no, what I imagine is, hey look, Dino's coming in, okay, put the fuel tank away.
Right lads, let me just go and put the fuel in. It's my special serum I've worked on.
169 octane.
I had... No, he was like, I drank some Red Bull earlier, so if this has Red Bull in it, will work.
Oh,
and then he's on the pit wall, so lads, that wasn't the Red Bull piss.
All I can now think of is a simple family is like, kerosene has energy, Red Bull has energy.
Oh yeah, the Peter Griffin one. Yeah. You're gonna... Lois, what have you done with my Red Bull? I threw it out. You're killing your insides. Hey Peter, Peter, what are you doing? Lois threw out my Red Bull, so I'm making my own. You're putting kerosene in it? Yes, kerosene is fuel. Red Bull is fuel, therefore kerosene is Red Bull.
I mean,
as Ruben gets rid of more of his penalty actually, and now Brown's going to be eaten into that slipstream range. He's going to be going... He's going to be loving that. He's eating it like it's crab on a Sunday dinner, and Brian is like, mine! He's in the slipstream range, and now he's not going to go out of it.
All I'm saying is just... To anyone who was watching, I'm hoping your eyes weren't closed during that point.
I hope their eyes was.
Oh, that would not have been very...
When you're watching GTEL to go to sleep. Hey guys, it's Nenan here from GTEL, and today we're doing ASMR. Through the Porsche curves, Ruben gains some more time through the technical bits. It's typical of Ruben to do that as soon as Brian hits the slipstream range.
With regards to the comment I made about having the eyes closed through that, if you're watching GTEL to get to sleep, don't. Oh wow, more penalty for Brian.
Well, hey!
Yep, Ruben's 1-1-1 or perhaps 1. At this stage.
You watch, Ruben is a brake fader at Morzan, or Arnage. He does what happened to Santos.
And he'd still probably pull away from the rest of the pack anyway.
He probably will still catch you up.
Yeah.
Time to have a chalky muffin to celebrate. Forget popping a chalky milk, pop a chalky muffin.
Yeah, chocolate milk is the ultimate celebration drink. Maybe it's a singular exception of kind of pussy energy drink, but hey, who knows?
The pussy energy drink was that?
Yeah, that exists.
Oh no, isn't it? It's on sale at like Home Bargains, isn't it, in the UK?
Yeah, 70p.
Yeah, my mate sent me a picture of it once. It's just an energy drink called Pussy. You can actually get a drink called Pussy. Maybe Pussy gives you energy, who knows?
Heaven knows. There's passion fruit and lychee. That actually tastes pretty nice, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I've heard it's actually not bad despite its incredibly crude name.
If you word it correctly and take it out of context, that is one of the most despicable statements you can come up with in modern society. Just talking about how good pussy tastes.
Why
did I say that? I do have a
In the middle
workaround
of
which is more
commentary,
messed up.
Hayden Clampett is eating a girl out.
Hey.
Is that what that sound
I do
was?
have a joke which is even more messed up than that. I do have one which is more messed up.
Yeah, well,
There's one similarity between the Mafia and only concept of colours in
I'm so glad you're very quiet right now.
Sorry, that was worth, yeah.
I couldn't even hear what you said, I'm so glad. Then again, I do
I'll
commentary
just
with
message it
Dino
to
Rod
you.
sometimes, and Dino Rod said some racist shit by accident.
Oh, God.
Welcome to GTEL, your #1 source for commentary. You wouldn't believe it, but Ninen's actually one of the best commentators on this game, would you? Because I am. I just can't keep a straight face. Anyway. Back to the topic of question, the race. 4.5 minutes to go. Who do you think's gonna win? Oh, let me try and have a guess with what that one is. Go on, what is it?
I'm typing it now.
Anyway, down towards Arnage. The 2 lead drivers. 4 seconds is the gap between Brian and Ruben, and 4.5 seconds is the pen.
Oh my god.
I've heard that one before.
Oh my god.
Oh, I am not repeating that one on stream. If you're in our Discord, join it and I'll message you after the race. If you're not, join it.
Oh wow, ripping on purple. In other news.
In other news, Brian's got more penalty as we're approaching what will be the final lap of the race. God, is it really the final lap? The final lap of the season for Div 1, yeah.
Probably the last lap of the season for Dino, to be fair. He's trying to get
Is anyone actually... Let me have a look. Looking at everyone here, everyone should actually still be in Division 1 next season.
Oh,
There's Brian! Oh no, there comes Tim's in second place then.
Brian does the big hack.
Did Brian think it's the last
look
lap?
who's close. Who knows? Look at the elephant in the room now with KC as well. Did he actually get a penalty for once? Or podium even?
No.
Okay, Brian should still be okay, to be fair. Looking at penalty, he's about 8 seconds ahead. So yeah, he should be alright.
And he's gone and actively got a lot of his penalty off and through Dunlop.
Probably.
Anyway, last lap of the season for Division 1. There's no parade lap for JM Devil.
Well, let's be honest. He probably took off that penalty whilst he was off track. And just, yeah.
I think he actually did get a few bits. I did
forgetting where the track went.
Mate, it was the old Le Mans layout. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. The one where you turn left after the left.
What? Which left do you mean? The left over there or the left over here?
Yeah. That left.
That left? Which left? There's actually only one right-hand turn in the old Le Mans layout, and that's Arnage. Fun fact. Because Arnage, when you look at the old Le Mans circuit, it's just a load of left-handed turns, and then the weird Indianapolis Arnage is still there for all of them. It's weird.
Hey, it's a fun sequence. Anyway, yeah.
I don't like Arnage.
Ruben.
Casey's got ahead of Tim. Oh, but Casey's still got 4.5 seconds off the penalty.
I also look at side by side.
Casey's actually on the risk here of getting eaten up by JD. Oh, JD does a penalty as well, so the 4th for Casey should be fine. He gets rid of a lot of that penalty going into the break. That's brilliant work by the Spaniard, Italian, Irish, French Brit.
You can't switch between cockpit cam on 2 cars or in replay and spectate. But it will cut back to roof. Anyway, random trivia done. Ruben going even faster.
Ruben now actively trying to get fastest lap of the race.
Having just got fastest lap of the race.
Yes.
He just wants to demoralise the field at this point.
This won't be the last race for... I think all of these drivers are in Season 2 next. Yeah. How many are actually confirmed for Season 2? Let me just go through the list. We have 4 drivers so far in this race confirmed. But viewership today, you guys have actually been pretty good. We've not gone under, since the race started, we've not gone under 20 viewers, so thank you all for staying around, especially around about the 18 viewer mark as well when we had the technical difficulties at the start. But in all honesty, it's actually been quite a decent race to say we had a poor start. As Casey tries to get more of his penalty off, but in the end of it gets more of it, and him and Tim are really racing at it now.
Sorry, I just love that. He tries to get his penalty off, but winds up getting more of it. That's the most delightfully ironic situation to be in. Lewis joining very, very late.
He's not in Div 1 or 2 anyway. He's a Mazda racer, who I believe actually has a podium in the Mazda series. But anyway,
he's allowed to. I mean, he can watch the finish if he wants.
Through kart corner then. 2 chicanes, 4 turns to go for Ruben. Past the pit entry, through the 4th chicane, then he comes.
It's been an impressive run for Ruben since.
It's been an impressive season, and he'll take 2nd place in the championship as he comes across the line to win at Le Mans. SVV Ruben, Vamos Forza Ruben, and KML Brian. What a drive today! Get in there, Brian. Through the final chicane, across the line. It's 2nd for Brian, and Casey doesn't quite have the gap. He will just lose out on that podium. He is going to be gutted.
That's his first podium, or am I mixed up then?
That is Tim's 2nd podium.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Before we go, I do want to say, I, Hayden over here, I do run a league. If you're
don't self-promote it. I'm kidding. Go join our Discord, there will be a link.
I'm Hayden Clampett, yeah.
Well, there'll probably be a partnership program going on soon, don't worry about that.
Hey! No, just watch Dino.
You just have to feel for him, he was such a good performer.
Yeah.
He was doing so good until ART screwed him.
And he spun it. I don't think he cares at this point.
Now we can't actually go and look at Devil. What a season it's been though.
Yeah. He may not have won a race. From
Brian thinks he won the race. I mean, I got the podium. He had that I won the race typed in for a while. I mean, it's been a common joke in the Discord server that every week Brian would say, this week is my week. And this week he didn't say it.
And he actually does well as a result.
That is 2nd place as well, and if it wasn't for the penalties, he may have... Oh, that was a brilliant strategy from Ruben. We all thought he had fucked it, but that was brilliant.
We all thought he didn't know what he was doing, but he knew mathematically exactly just what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing.
Oh yeah, by the way, Santos was 6th. And he'll be joining my team for next season.
Don't spoil that.
We're looking for a reserve. Oh wow, yeah. Dino, yeah, he's vibing.
But anyway.
Oh wait, hang on. Oh, what's he doing? What's he doing?
Go on, go for some donuts.
He's gonna reverse it. Oh no, okay, he's nothing. Wait, is he gonna reverse it?
I get some donuts in for us.
Then
what season it's been, Division 1? 8 emphatic weeks. Devil is your champion. He's not been here to race today with us. But the championship was sealed a long time ago. Ruben will take 2nd. I think JD will have 3rd. Dino in 4th. So Bruin enter the season for this man here getting his 1st podium. And he may as well save the best till last. And Terrible Tim, he's going to be cracking a beer open for that one as well. Going to gain some vital points. And it's been an utterly brilliant season. It's not done yet. We've got the postponed Div 2 race at Spa next week. It feels a bit anticlimactic, but I feel like it's going to be a good one anyway.
Yeah.
But congratulations, Ruben. His 4th win of the season. fifth, sorry, his fifth win of the season.
God, I can't even write GG professionally.
Congratulations, Ruben. Congratulations, Devil, formally on the title. Well done, everyone, today. Thank you all for an amazing season, Division 1. You have done everyone so proud. Thank you all. I've been Ninan. Thank you, Hayden, for joining me in the commentary box today. And I will see you all later. Peace out.